I hope you're ready for an exciting one. And we're off. The race has begun. Both runners making their way through Ceres Station, bathed in blue light. Not a soul to be seen, just a bunch of bodies. Dead bodies and a missing baby Metroid. Wherever could it be? The runners are going to have to keep searching high and low to find that little baby Metroid. And there it is. The runners have found it. But what's this? What is that sinister eye glowing in the darkness? Why, it's Ridley, the leader of the spaced pirates, dragon extraordinaire. The runners take damage down to 24 HP in order to skip through this canned Ridley fight. And now they'll begin their escape. Making their way through the stairs, avoiding the steam. Couple key wall jumps here. Gotta avoid the steam and the falling tiles in the next room, and then be sure to get a good start, a good jump to get that wall jump and make it towards the elevator. Aessy with a little bit of a stumble there, allowing Borlax to catch up. Ceres Station is left to explode. The runners will head to Zebes. The last time we saw Zebes, it was a smoldering ruin at the end of Metroid 1. We'll see what kind of tricks Mother Brain and the rest of the Space Pirates have for our runners. So while we begin the early game, for those of you that are new to the Super Metroid Prodigy tournament, it's a tournament designed for runners new to the any percent category. So every runner to qualify for this tournament had to have an any percent time of 50 minutes or slower. And this tournament has an excellent mix of seasoned Super Metroid players, new Super Metroid players, players that are coming off a long layoff, and players that have a lot of talent in other categories other than any percent, but have never really devoted themselves to any percent. And here we have the moonfall technique used by attempt by Borlax. Aessy pulled it off. Allows dramatically increased fall speed. Runners have made their way through Old Tori and down to Blue Brinstar to pick up the first major item of the game, the Morph Ball. And the Morph Ball answers the question... The Morph Ball is the answer to the question, why can't Metroid crawl? Well, you don't have to crawl if you have a Morph Ball. Runners now heading to pick up their first missile packs. Missiles will allow unlocking of pink doors, 5 missiles per door. But also makes some enemies easier to kill, and is one of 2 items that can harm Mother Brain. I see we have some ice hockey fans in the audience. That's excellent. But my focus is entirely on this Super Metroid Prodigy tournament race. Both runners electing to do the behemoth climb using ledge grabs. Aessy, the first one through back to Parlor. Gonna head to grab bombs and face the game's first mini-boss. Aessy the first to grab bombs from that bombed chorizo statue. And what's this? Why, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's just a bird. Once again, those Chozo, they hit a bird inside that bird-shaped statue, and we have our first mini-boss, the Bomb Chorizo. Runners have to be careful not to score more than 5 or 10 hits with their pea shooters. Use those missiles to blow up in the chest and hopefully avoid the decapitation animation. Unfortunately, Aessy getting the decapitation animation, but still finishing off Bomb Chorizo in short order. Borlax avoiding the cutscene. Avoid the decapitation animation, I should say, and making very quick work of Bomb Chorizo. Excellent job to both runners. We'll now see a tricky strat attempt by Aessy, the Alcatraz escape, or just Alcatraz for short. Second try, first try for Borlax, so Borlax is gaining on Aessy early here in the game. Both runners making their way down Terminator now to grab their first energy tank of the game. Upgrade your energy by 100. Upgrade your swag by 1,000. The sync is real, folks, as we enter the next stage of the race as they head towards Green Brinstar, where they'll attempt the game's first major sequence break, the early Supers Mock Ball. Mock Ball, of course, allows Samus to maintain her horizontal speed while in ball form, allowing her to just slip underneath the closing gates, guarding these super missiles. Normally, in a casual playthrough, you would need speed booster to acquire these super missiles. But with this tech, with this early Super Mock Ball, which both runners have expertly done, they pick up their super missiles. They're allowed to skip Spore Spawn entirely. Aessy the first into Pink Brinstar, followed very, very closely behind by Borlax. The most challenging part of Pink Brinstar is, of course, this giant wall. It takes 5 bombs to bomb through. Heading straight down Big Pink, as it's affectionately called. All the rooms in this game have super wicked names. Aessy and Borlax will pick up another missile pack and then head downstairs to grab the charge beam, a critical item in any Super Metroid run, but especially in any percent. Allow Samus to charge up their shot to do more damage. There are some enemies in the game that can only be damaged by charge shots. The regular shots don't do anything. Aessy heading into Green Hill Zone. Borlax right behind him. Really nice damage boost by Aessy. Borlax nailing that gate, missiling one of the side hoppers, and Aessy crosses New Bridge. Borlax picking up that super from that Cack. Cack attack. Drops supers like nobody's business. Now both runners done with Green Brinstar. Pink Brinstar is a distant memory. Into Red Brinstar. The Great Red Tower. Both runners setting a great pace this early in the game. Aessy's through the Meridia tube. Borlax right hot on his heels, right behind him. We'll be heading into Kraid's warehouse to go do battle with Kraid, the giant lizard that hopefully we won't see all of Kraid, because both runners will get the Kraid quick kill. Terrific movement by both runners so far. Really setting a nice pace. But Aessy just one room ahead at the moment. Aessy setting up for the Kraid quick kill. Hopefully the commentator's curse has been exorcised. Aessy with a phenomenal missile. Kraid quick kill, opening with 2 missile shots. Boom, boom, right in succession to stun lock Kraid. Borlax doing the same thing. Excellent work from both runners, both getting the missile opener. Kraid quick kills. 2 missiles, 1 that does damage, and 3 supers is all it takes to defeat Kraid and get that excellent upgrade, the Various suit. Now that both runners have acquired their Various suits, they can head down to Norfair where they will no longer take heat damage from superheated rooms. Swaggy D-boosts abound from both Aessy and Borlax, but Essy's still about a room ahead. This could be, picking up the Kraid tank here, could be the difference between Borlax catching up or not. We'll see what Aessy elects to pick up the Kraid tank. I like this move. It's always good to upgrade your HP in this game. And Borlax going straight up, so we have ourselves a little bit of a lead change here. Borlax taking the lead because he didn't pick up the Kraid tank. And it'll be the first one down to Norfair, headed towards high jump boots. A calculated risk on Borlax's part for sure. Aessy is setting a terrific pace. Borlax avoiding the energy tank on the way down to get high jump boots. We'll see if he grabs it on the way out. I would have to assume that he's going to grab it. Otherwise, he'll be 2 item fanfares and a whole Kraid tank room ahead of Aessy. And Borlax grabs the energy tank, as assumed. Aessy also grabbing the missiles, so quick lead change here. Borlax maintaining it now. But it's still very early in the match. We still have the Norfair cleanup, still have Wreck Ship, Fantune, Meridia, and 2 more bosses. And then, of course, the long journey down to Lower Norfair to do battle with Ridley. So there's still a ton of race left. Anything can happen in this tournament, especially between 2 runners as esteemed and as talented as these 2. Both of them have terrific times, just over a minute separating them in terms of their personal bests. The tournament has used a Swiss format to decide matchups, and it has definitely the skill gap has narrowed the further we've gotten into this tournament, and so now the races are becoming extremely close, extremely well contested. Aessy missing the wall jump at Bubble Mountain as Borlax goes and grabs Speed Booster to upgrade his speed. Aessy makes it over Bubble Mountain and we'll head towards Speed Booster. We'll have ourselves a little bit of a high 5 here. Aessy going to grab Speed Booster. Borlax just finishing up grabbing Speed Booster, and he'll head to Wave Beam. Borlax got a little hung up on that platform after opening that pink door, and oh, misses the platform. Falls all the way down, but a quick wall jump recovery. Excellent work. Grabs the wave missiles. Terrific movement, and then another sequence break, using wall jumps to get to the wave door, allowing the runners to pick up Wave Beam without getting Grapple Beam. And here we have their second high five of the run so far. Borlax exiting wave while Aessy enters wave. Aessy also grabbing the wave missiles. And now Borlax will head on out of Norfair, start heading back up through Brinstar towards wrecked ship. Borlax setting a good pace here, entering through the Frogway. Zipping through there with that speed booster, breaking those blocks, smashing through those frogs. Aessy with a clever trick there to use a pseudo screw attack. He won't take any damage from projectiles to get on out of that wave. Get on out of that wave room. Get back to those platforms. But Borlax widening the gap here a little bit. But like we said, anything can happen. It's still very early. Borlax is electing to go with the late ice pickup. He did not stop to grab Ice Beam. And because of that, he'll have to use a hero shot or some other technique to climb Red Tower. He will not have Ice Beam to freeze the Rippers. Same with Aessy. Aessy is also electing to go late ice. Borlax with a terrific Red Tower climb and a couple swaggy D-boosts to the Hellway. And Aessy setting up for the Alpha Spark. Nails it first try. Excellent work, Aessy. Love that spark. Borlax going for Alpha PB's damage boost, nailing the backup. Excellent work, picking up the first power bomb pack. And now Aessy will climb Red Tower. What a beautiful climb by Aessy. Nails the hero shot, opens up the hole, jumps right in. Excellent work, Aessy. And a couple swaggy D-boosts across the Hellway, too. But Borlax is heading to Cratera. He's headed straight to wreck ship, while Essy's going for that first PB pack. Another swaggy D-boost by Aessy, and the Alpha PBs speeds it up, makes it easy to grab those PBs. And both runners avoiding all the Vile Plumes. Borlax setting up for a short charge here to spark across the moat, but the blocks had not respawned yet. It looks like he's setting up for the true Ocean Fly. Oh, it elects to just spark across the moat, but avoids the moat missiles. Borlax with another short charge attempt to cross the ocean. Just a little bit of a false start there. But if anyone can do it, he can. These short charge attempts are allowing Aessy to close the gap a little bit. Borlax bonking into that wall there, right outside of wreck ship entrance. That'll allow him to maintain a higher energy level, especially because he only has 2 tanks. Aessy first try spark across the moat. Let's see how Aessy handles the ocean spark. Nails it first try, so the gap is narrowing. Borlax with a terrific speedball through the blocks and just quickly dispatches that Ghidorah with a super missile. Health looking a little low, at least for this commentator's Phantoon fights, but he's got 2 power bombs, he's got 1 super, so he's ready to deal some damage to Phantoon. And Borlax getting the fast pair and unable to connect with any missiles, going with a charge shot, setting up an X-Factor and nailing, I believe, at least 3 particles, maybe got all 4, and now Aessy's starting his Phantoon fight. But Borlax has got to be careful, the energy's looking pretty low at 65. Went for a Doppler, but unfortunately didn't connect with most of them. Borlax with a big health drop, so that's good. Back up to 90 HP, landing those missiles. Great use of pseudo screw by Aessy to avoid the flames. Great flame management. Nailed the X Factor. And look at that, both runners finishing up Phantoon pretty much simultaneously. So we have ourselves an extremely close race now. Beautiful X Factors by Aessy landing those particles only a couple of rounds in Phantoon's history. Borlax had a little bit of trouble, and that allowed Aessy to catch up. The sync is real, or at least it's almost synced up, but Aessy appears to have taken a tentative lead. It's anyone's game now. Oh, Aessy missed the bomb jump, and so now Borlax retakes the lead as he grabs the wreck ship supers. An excellent point by Rasu in chat. With all that extra energy that Aessy has, Bowling Spark is no problem, but Borlax, on the other hand, with only 2 energy tanks, and right now with only 115 energy, there's no possible way, without some serious farming, that Borlax could do Bowling Spark. Aessy's the first one into Attic, but followed closely behind by Borlax. Aessy opening with a power bomb, destroying those enemies, now setting up for a short charge into the Attic Spark to dispatch the rest of the enemies. Nailing a super on that Key Hunter, a beautiful Attic by Aessy. Borlax electing to just use a salvo of missiles to deal damage to all those enemies. We'll see if Aessy sets up for the Bowling Spark, or maybe he'll just jump. Yeah, Aessy just electing to jump across Bowling. Trying to make it in as few jumps as possible. 3 jumps, not so bad. 3 damage, 3 times taking damage, not bad at all. Borlax going with the, woo! Man! This is exciting! Borlax pulling off the Bowling Spark, so closing the gap on Aessy. This race is really heating up, folks. Multiple lead changes early on, and now the narrowing gaps, change leads. Unbelievable. This is what you all came for. This is the race. This is the prime time. Absolutely fantastic. Both runners have now picked up their gravity suits with that beautiful purple people eater paint job. Chat saying that this race is totally believable, but I say I'm going to upgrade from unbelievable to crumb-believable. This race so far has not disappointed. Both runners heading back down to Brinstar. They'll head straight for the Meridia Tube, shatter it with a power bomb. Aessy back into Hellway, conserving energy, not going for damage boosts, doing a quick farm, grabbing some large health drops. Good idea, because this energy was definitely looking a little bit low. Borlax electing to do the same strategy. But remember now, Borlax has 1 fewer energy tank. So he's got to be extra careful. Alright, Essie's the first one into the Meridia tube, but Borlax is only a few seconds behind, maybe 3 or 4 seconds. And Essie's into Meridia, where you get to see some crazy underwater movement, some great sparking, wall jumping, all sorts of tech. A terrific series of rooms by Aessy that was extremely fast, but Borlax showing no fear and just completing the rooms as quickly as possible. Both runners summiting Mount Everest with beautiful diagonal sparks. This is really shaping up to be a terrific race. Aessy, the first into Borlax, or not Borlax, Botwoon. First into Botwoon, lands all 4 particles, but Borlax very, very closely behind, setting up for the heat-seeking X-Factor strat and delivering a crazy amount of supers and defeating Botwoon and retaking the lead from Aessy. Aessy ran out of super missiles, has to use charged wave shots. Incredible, unprecedented. But now, Borlax going for the Botwoon E-Tank got a little hung up in the sand there, couldn't mid-air morph, and Aessy is only an item fanfare behind, if that. We'll see if either runner sets up for full halfie. It looks like Borlax is going for it. Aessy doing a quick farm, using the Shine Spark Echoes to take care of those enemies. But Borlax hitting the full halfie, traversing the Coliseum in record speed. Unbelievable. Now Aessy's setting up for full halfie. Bonks the door, set up for just a standard halfie, but bonk the door. That's so unfortunate, Aessy. Oh, he's gonna have to use wall jumps to get out of here while Borlax is already into Dragon. Aessy making a quick work of the Coliseum despite missing that halfie. This is going to come down to a Dragon fight. Borlax opening with a beautiful Rain Dance X-Factor, damage boosting off the turret, but I think he missed the spark. Avoids the swoop. Just incredible. Borlax couldn't land those Shine Sparks. Aessy's getting set up to open with the X-Factor. And Borlax finishing off Dragon with a super missile to the belly and now going for a spike suit. Aessy gets the short charge, gets the goop pattern. Dragon's belly has turned red, setting up for the second spark. Finishing off Dragon, unbelievable. Getting a blue suit. And Borlax with Space Jump exiting Dragon's room. And now looks like Aessy, yep, a damage boost to collect those drops from Dragon. Aessy cannot press the run button or the down button with a blue suit. But Borlax did not get blue suit because he finished off Dragon with a super missile, so he'll have to just space jump across Coliseum. And both runners will go and get their plasma beams. Aessy activating that storage short charge from the blue suit and sparking all the way across the reverse full halfie that'll gain Aessy some time on Borlax. Aessy making his way through Cack Alley. Borlax setting up for a Plasma Spark. Oh, but bonks it. Bonks into that overhanging ledge. But a quick recovery, a couple crucial, very well executed space jumps and wall jumps. We'll see if Aessy can go for Plasma Spark. I see Antinomy, one of the tournament organizers in chat. Antinomy, is the bounty still open for the Plasma Spark? Borlax with his Plasma Beam, laying that power bomb to kind of soften up these pink Plasma Beam guarding space pirates. And Borlax is through as Aessy grabs his Plasma Beam. We have another high five in this race, a record-setting race for high fives, you might think. Aessy destroying all those pink pirates very quickly, and now Borlax is heading back down through that toilet, as it's called in Meridia. And it looks like Borlax has about a one-room lead on Aessy, so anything can happen in Lower Norfair. It's going to come down strictly to execution and maybe RNG on drops. We'll see what happens. And if it's still very close by the time our runners reach Torian, it could be a baby skip that makes the difference in this race. Borlax the first to reach Norfair. Aessy is still making his way through Brinstar, but he's very, very close. And both runners still have to go grab their Ice Beam, so that will probably take South route down to Lower Norfair. Borlax's energy is looking terrific, so he'll likely skip the Nutella refill. A beautiful speed keep, a speed ball by Aessy. Really nice movement tech, and we have ourselves yet another high five. Borlax laying that power bomb, unlocking the gateway to Lower Norfair via South route, the Croc Speedway, getting hung up on that fire flea, but he doesn't let it slow him down. Aessy now laying a power bomb and electing to go the same route. Borlax still with terrific energy. Both runners really have excellent energy, so we should see a skip of the Nutella refill. Yeah, thank you, Chad. I believe those are just bugs, not fire fleas. Fire fleas light up the rooms, but I think that was just a plain old bug. The space boost, the double space boost by both runners. Absolutely incredible. Really putting on a terrific show for you all. Really just on the level, pushing it to the limit. P-Toil in chat says, can we get a triple? Of course we can. Grab that controller, P-Toil, and just warp yourself over to Norfair and get that space boost. Borlax setting up for fast pillars as Aessy enters Lower Norfair. Borlax nailing the short charge and sparking across that fast pillar strat is so impressive. We'll see if Aessy can duplicate that. Borlax into worst room in the game, or Ritga, if you will. W-R-I-T-G. There is no H. Ritga is a challenging room. It lives up to its name. Aessy electing to use power bombs. Hopefully we'll just only need to use 2, putting them as close to the pillars as possible. And Borlax is already into Amphitheater, but Aessy entering worst room in the game. This is anybody's race. Don't let him fool you. A quick power bomb drop, and Aessy's making his way up through worst room of the game. Borlax didn't drop his space jump, so he's through Amphitheater. Borlax skillfully avoiding those key hunters. Energy looking a little low at 131, but Aessy is really catching up now. Borlax into Wasteland. He's got to avoid these Disgigas like there's no tomorrow. Oh, taking some damage. Taking some more damage. Be careful. Be careful, Borlax. 44 HP. And now Aessy making his way down to Wasteland, but with much higher energy. Borlax going in against Metal Pirates with 44 HP. Avoiding those legs being thrown by those pirates. And getting health bombed by the first one, but there was at least one super drop in there. Aessy with a beautiful Kago through that spike platform, also called a Kago. And Borlax is through Metal Pirates, but Aessy going with the Spark strats, using a Shine Sparks. Not a Shine Sparks, 2 Shine Sparks to dispatch both of those Metal Pirates. This is really getting close now, as both runners are in the same room. Aessy is putting on a terrific performance, catching up to Borlax. This is all going to come down to the Ridley fight, I think. Both runners are into Ridley. Borlax opening, nails the first charge shot, but misses the second one, and now Ridley's pogoing. So he'll manipulate that pogo, get Ridley to do what he wants so he can deliver more charge shots. Aessy landing those charge shots, taking to the skies, avoiding the swoops. But Borlax locked in a corner, locked in just an absolute fight to the death with Ridley, using that moonwalk. Aessy getting the color change, but Borlax a few shots behind. But Borlax with more stupers. He's got 9 stupers. He wisely farmed before the fight. Got his HP up. Ridley continuing to pogo for Borlax. Aessy delivering more charge shots. I think that's going to do it on Aessy's screen, but Ridley is pogoing. Ridley going with a... Ridley picking up Aessy. We are synced up. Both runners killing Ridley at almost the exact same time. This is sensational. This is really shaping up to be an exciting race. We are totally synced up now. Aessy with a slim lead over Borlax, maybe a second or two. Both runners jumping into the lava, speeding through. Both runners blasting past the Metal Pirates and making their way back up to Wasteland during their lower Norfair escapes. Both runners dropping their power bombs at precisely the same time. Aessy, both runners elected to shoot the Tuskigas. Borlax taking a lead as Aessy got a little hung up with that ceiling Tuskiga. So Borlax is the first one out of the reverse Wasteland. But Aessy with a beautiful speedball through those blocks. That'll definitely save some time. Borlax dropping bombs, dropping power bombs, blasting key hunters, but he's got to watch his HP. He's definitely got to watch out. He's only got 93 energy. Took a hit from a key hunter. Oh, Aessy taking a hit too, but he's still got 145 energy. But these key hunters just not cooperating today. Both runners using that pseudo screw attack, but I believe... No, Aessy very, very close to overtaking Borlax. Sorry, I had to refresh my stream because my connection is just absolutely terrible. Aessy playing it safe. Borlax going full YOLO. Narrowly avoids dipping his toes in the acid. A quick morph. Just nicks himself a little bit on that acid. And we're into Three Musketeers. Both runners trying to deal with these Three Musketeers. Both runners shooting all of them. Very good idea, especially with this energy level. Borlax still with a slim lead over Aessy. Both runners are safely out of Lower Norfair, but it's not over, folks. We got to race to G4. We got to kill those Metroids, and then we got to skip that baby. The sink is real as we enter Bubble Mountain. Both runners just absolutely pushing it to the limit. Borlax is the first into Frogway, but Aessy's right behind him, hot on his heels, blasting through those frogs again. Both runners reaching Business Center at just a shade over 41 minutes into this run. This is absolutely sensational. Borlax the first to get to the elevator. Aessy stumbled a little bit, making his way through Business Center, but he's up and ready, up and at him, ready to go. The runners will make their way up to Meridia and be able to enter Brinstar very, very quickly. And we'll see what becomes of the poor Sephi fish. For maximum RNG manipulation, it's probably a good idea to kill the fish. But to live with a clear conscience, you have to avoid killing the fish. Oh, Borlax dropped his space jump, so Aessy's actually retaken the lead, skipping the Sephi fish. Borlax skipping the Sephi fish as well. So nobody killed the Sephi fish, but more importantly, that's a slight slip-up by Borlax allowed Aessy to retake the lead. It's that simple, folks. It's that close. Just a little minor hiccup, and one runner could take the lead over the other. Both runners back to the surface, back in Criteria. Aessy the first one into the Criteria tube, if you will. But Borlax was right behind him, maybe a second or two behind, running through those blocks and past the ship. Let's see who gets the speed keep through Parlor. Aessy, beautiful. Both runners space jumping with that beautiful, beautiful movement tech. Aessy getting a little bit hung up on the ceiling there, and Terminator allowing Borlax to just narrowly catch up. And we'll see in just a moment what these runners' G4 times are. Pretty much simultaneously, maybe a few tenths of a second are separating them right now. So as predicted, chat, all you viewers out there, it's going to come down to Baby Skip. It's going to come down to Baby Skip, as well as Mother Brain 2 and Mother Brain 3 fights, and of course the escape. But really, Baby Skip could make or break this entire race for either runner, because the sink is real. Look at those statues descend into those watery depths. That is absolutely incredible. What a terrific race put on by these esteemed runners. Both runners entering Torian. We'll see what kind of work they make of the Metroid rooms. Both with pretty much the same ammo. Aessy just has a single super more. Oh, and Aessy got grabbed. Borlax is through, hanging out in the lava, destroying those Metroids. But now Borlax gets grabbed, shakes it off, delivers some regular missiles. Aessy maintains a very slim lead. Aessy with the grouping strats, destroys both Metroids, but didn't get the super drops he was looking for. Only looking at 20 and 7 right now. Let's go, runners. Getting health bombed by the second Metroid, but great super drops off the third one. It's all going to come down to these last three Metroids. Let's see who can group them. Both runners going for grouping. Borlax taking a very slight lead, but both runners with full ammunition. Aessy with full HP, Borlax nearly full HP. This is it. It all comes down to this. Oh, but Borlax got snagged. No! Aessy going for baby skip. Gets the first jump. Clearing the moss. Borlax correctly facing right. Saves the 40 frames. 2/3 of a second. Aessy with the jumps. Essy's cleared all of the moss. But Aessy gets grabbed at the last second. Oh, this is sensational. Borlax is through. Supers the door and goes to restore his energy, but Aessy also got grabbed by the baby. Both runners going for baby skip and both missing it, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Borlax with full energy and nearly full ammunition, 20 and 8, heading into Mother Brain 1. Borlax with a really quick Zeb skip as Aessy enters into the second to last room before Mother Brain, the penultimate room. Both runners with identical ammunition. Borlax skillfully clearing the Rinkas, delivering those regular missiles and super missiles to break the glass and finish off Mother Brain 1. Aessy very, very close behind. Also clearing the Rinkas. Cannot get sniped. The turret snipes are real. Has to avoid getting sniped here. Wow. Aessy starting his Mother Brain 2 fight right behind Borlax's. Borlax starting off strong against Mother Brain, delivering those charged plasma shots. For both runners, it's going to take 20 shots, 900 damage apiece. Mother Brain playing nice so far for Borlax, only dropping a hamburger and a couple onion rings. Let's see how she shapes up for Aessy. But Borlax has got to be very careful with his HP here. He's got to avoid the catch-up beam. Oh, Borlax 10 HP away. 10 HP away, and he's through. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Aessy's into the catch-up phase already, too. And Aessy is through Mother Brain, too. This is absolutely first class as far as races are concerned. Borlax finishing off Mother Brain 2 with a slim margin for error with only 10 HP. Only 10 HP more than certain death would be coming his way. My goodness. And Aessy with the energy tank, no sweat, as we enter into this final cutscene before Mother Brain 3. I'll be honest with you, viewers at home, as we sit through this baby Metroid Mother Brain cutscene, this race has left me absolutely spellbound. It has been so difficult not to spectate, and I've been tripping over my tongue, tripping over my words constantly. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. I'm just sitting back and enjoying what a sensational, amazing race. The Baby Metroid dying on Borlax's screen at approximately 49:33, so only about 6 seconds between these runners. Borlax delivering those hyper beam shots, but getting hit by those onion rings. He's got to watch his HP. It is possible to die to Mother Brain 3. I don't think he will. He's into a good rhythm now, delivering those shots. Aessy had a good rhythm going there for a little bit, but turned around, got a little bit sidetracked. Borlax finishes off Mother Brain 3 first, but Aessy right behind him, finishing off Mother Brain 3. So this is it. It's going to come down to these runners' escapes. And Borlax, despite having one less tank, with the energy advantage, sparking up that side beautifully. But Aessy right behind him. Borlax not maintaining space or wall jump through there. Aessy hot on his heels. Aessy looked like he went for the moonfall but didn't get it. Borlax making his climb. This is the ultimate high five of this race. It's going to come down to who gets that behemoth spark, that climb spark. This is it. Borlax, both of them going up the right side, flying up, making it to Criteria's Borlax. Aessy with only 29 HP left, an amazing competitor. Just enough energy to spark up that climb. Borlax is through the door into the ship. Aessy right behind him. And Borlax is finished. And Aessy just barely behind him. Oh my goodness. Both runners completing their runs. Borlax is the victor with an official SRL time of 51:49, but just unbelievably closely behind him was Aessy with an official SRL time of 51:54. That is absolutely incredible. What an incredible race that was. That was absolutely spellbinding. And we're joined by Borlax. Woo!
Oh my god.
Wow!
5 seconds according to SRL.
That was, without question, the most nip and tuck, neck and neck, back and forth race I think I've ever seen.
Oh my god. My hands are shaking right now. My hands, like, I was so nervous.
Just take a deep breath, Borlax, and walk us through the run. What was on your mind? What was going through your head?
Well, I started off playing pretty poor. I was plus, like, my bomb time was 5:10. My PB bomb time is 16 seconds better than that. I felt like my hands were a little cold. And then it basically came down to, like, I peeked at the stream to decide whether or not I should get Craig E-Tank. And based on how far behind I was, I'm like, I'm going to skip Craig. I'm going to go for just 3 tank. Because I do PBs with 3 tank. I don't do races with 3 tank. I usually do 4 tank for races. But I'd been practicing, so I was like, you know what, let's go for it. I feel like maybe I could do it. And man, like, I don't care about any of the time losses I had at Fantune. I don't care about any of that. I'm glad this race was as close as it was, because man, seeing like a dot done and then a dot done 5 seconds later, like, that's so nerve-wracking. I'm freaking out. There was such an intense race.
I'm freaking out. I had the winners flip-flopped. I just went, as soon as you guys finished up, I just flew in there and just hit both done buttons as quick as I could without paying attention to the names.
Yeah, honestly, it's like, I think the stream says that, is it, how do you pronounce it? Is it Aessy or?
I believe it's Aessy.
Aessy? Sorry. Honestly, it's like, that race could have gone either way. If I had lost by 5 seconds or a couple seconds, like, I'm just glad it was this close. I wanted to have an entertaining race for the tournament. And I'm really glad that, like, I saw my opponent this week and I'm like, there's no way this is going to be anything but, like, a tight race. But I didn't, still, like, 5 seconds, that's insane.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrific. I mean, I don't know how many lead changes there were. I don't know how many high fives there were, how many syncs there were. It was just constantly. It was like a 2 heavyweight fighters just taking shots at each other, just delivering haymakers. It was really incredible to watch.
I just want to give a shout out to Aessy and everyone in chat, because I had the chat up and chat was going bonkers, and I could tell it was I like as soon as Botswoon was dead, I stopped looking at like comparing myself against my opponent. I just had chat open and I had my splits open, and chat kind of was giving me an idea of how close it was. Just a lot of POG champs. I just want to give a shout out to Aessy for an amazing race, and playing phenomenally, and for chat for being so into it and so excited, and to you for commentating it, because I've commentated a close race myself, and it gets insane when it's that synced. And the organizers,
it was
yeah.
absolutely my pleasure. So I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going. Keep it rolling.
Sorry. And the organizers in Speed Gaming, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Borlax, that was a terrific, terrific race. Thank you so much. GG's to you. GG's to Aessy. I mean, that just really goes to show you what this tournament is all about, and the results, the entertainment that it can provide. You know, you guys definitely both push it to the limit. You took calculated risks, and it was just made for an incredible watch. So, Borlax, do you have anything left to say, or should we sign off?
See you next mission.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Borlax.
Have a good night, everyone. Whew. Oh God, I'm still shaking. Okay, sorry. Have a good night.
Go pour yourself a stiff drink, or if you're not drinking, maybe a nice root beer. GG's to both runners. Congratulations on the win, Borlax. That was a terrific, terrific race. Just edge of your seat stuff. Unbelievable. But it's not over, because in the Super Metroid Prodigy tournament, there's always more action until we crown a champion. So if I can pull up the schedule real quick, we can go over some upcoming races into the weekend. Tonight we're looking at having a 4-way race at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have some late afternoon, evening action on Friday evening, and then into Friday night. But we just have a stacked weekend. Be sure to follow the runners. Be sure to check out the schedule. Check out everything, because if you like this race, just imagine what future races in this tournament will be like. On behalf of everyone associated with the Super Metroid Prodigy tournament, I would like to wish you all a fond farewell and a wonderful evening. And we will definitely see you next mission.